Hey guys, it's Donna here. Yeah, you can see I got a Looney Tunes shirt. My favorite one is Tweety Bird. So, anyway, I'm Donna and I am on YouTube. And I want you guys to stick around and keep watching because there's a lot to explain. And want you guys to understand my situation and maybe explain yours at the end when you hear my results. And like you know, just keep listening. So this started from 5th grade and it stopped in 5th grade, and then it would be going to I feel like not really much with 9th grade, because then, you know, there was mean people, there was this and that, but it wasn't constantly bullying. It wasn't really bullying in the high school when I started. So then after half of the year of 9th grade, I moved upstate where my sister is. But now she's in another state because they moved within last year. But moved upstate with my other sister and my mom, and I was new, and I was finishing 9th grade. And then after that, there is, trying to think, there is passing 10th grade, and 10th grade wasn't an issue, so I picked up on again in 11th and 12th, and then my adulthood. So where we start off was 5th grade. 5th grade was my last year of elementary school, and I loved elementary. I really did, and it was the best experience I ever had when I was young. And so we're in 5th grade. I was in special classes because I do have a learning disability and other things. Like, I don't know what other things would be, but I just know I have a learning disability, and I was in those classes. I was, like, you know, slow. And I've been like that all my life. And so then what happened was, it would start on the bus. There was this boy, and I understand boys have crushes when they're young and whatnot, and that's why they do this. This wasn't the reason. This really wasn't the reason, okay? The reason was he was doing this every day. And every day was always worse and worse and worse. So then where it started off was he would throw pencils at me, and they were pointy. He would throw them at me, and they would of course hit me. And I did, like, let my mother know about this and what was going on, and she was not happy. So then after that, there were more kids that were in that class with me would treat me really mean, and they would treat me different than this person that's bullying me. And I really did not have friends in that class. And of course, I went to the same school as my cousin. She's a year younger than me, and we went to the same school together, and I would tell her about this. She was pretty much, I feel like she was pretty much my only friend in that class, I think. And she wasn't in my classes, but I felt like she was my only friend, if I can remember. And so this kid would be mean to me, and there was this day, I was sitting at my desk, he came right behind me, and he punched me really hard in the back, and I started crying. It hurt really bad, especially on someone's back and you punch them. And so I told my mom. I don't even remember if the teacher in that class did anything. I think he was sent to the principal's office. And so then my mom, when my mom heard what happened to me, she said, if you guys don't do something about this, I'm suing you. So then they brought it to a meeting at the office. Hey, Jada. So they brought it to the office with his parents, himself, me, my mother, I believe just the principal and a few assistants. I'm not really remembering it, but like I remember being in there, and the parents of his were saying how I started it. What do you mean I started it? What do you mean? So they were trying to point it at me that I started all of this and that I made this happen. No. Why would I start anything? I didn't start this. So after explaining the situation that he punched me in the back and he was throwing pencils at me on the bus all the time, they had to remove him from the school district and the bus. So he wasn't at this place anymore where I was. So they did something about it because they didn't want to be sued. So after that, it was done, it stopped. But there were still mean people because of what the cycle was following. This person that was doing this to me, they were just being mean to me and saying things to me. So finally, school's over, going on to like passing 6th, 7th, and 8th, and now we have like high school, and you know, people are just mean, and they didn't like me, but they weren't like bullying me, I wouldn't think, because I would have reported it, but it wasn't like that. But after half of year 9th grade, I moved upstate with my mom and my sister because of my older sister living up there. But now she's in another state. So we moved up here half the year of 9th grade for me and 10th grade for my sister. And so I started at middle school there. And that is for like, not middle school, sorry. It was for like 8th and 9th grade, I believe. This school was just 2 grades. So there were these boys, 2 of them, and I felt very uncomfortable what they were doing, and they were being really mean, and I feel like, to me, it's a little disturbing what they did to me, and I'm not going to bring it up because I don't want to make it seem very uncomfortable about it, and I feel very uncomfortable even bringing it up, but it was something very, very, really disrespectful and inappropriate. So they did this to me in the cafeteria, and I tried reporting it. So when I did that, they were trying to say that they didn't do that, and try to like get themselves not ratted out. So nothing wasn't done, but it stopped after that. And after that, we pass, we're passing 10th grade, because 10th grade wasn't an issue. It just was like skipping grades for me. Like I was going on, it was going on and off. So now we're going to 11th grade. 11th grade was very different than any other time. I felt like it was. So this girl was on my bus. She had her cousin on this bus and her sister. And the bully that I'm talking about here was doing this a lot. And I made a friend or a few, but I was always with this one friend on the bus. And we would always sit next to each other and stuff. And so this one bully would always start with me when I got on the bus. And she would always give me this look. Like she would give me this look on her face and make me look scared of her. Like she would make this scary face every single day and stare down at me. And there was a one time that she was saying to me with what I was wearing, and she would make fun of my makeup, and she would make fun of what I wore for my pants. She made fun of me a lot and wouldn't stop doing it. And there was a time that she was in the front of the bus, and me and my friend were in the middle of the bus, like the middle of it. And I remember sitting on the right, I mean, actually, from where we were going, it was the left side. We were sitting on the left side, and she was actually sitting on the left side. So, somehow, she wanted to fight me. She was like screaming, "You want to fight? You want to fight?" And I'm like crying, and my friend next to me was like, "You need to stop. She is crying. You're just stop." Like, she was telling her to stop, and this girl wouldn't stop. She was just being really mean. And so the bus driver, you know how some bus drivers are. There are certain bus drivers that will not do something about it, or they'll just say, "Stop doing that, or else you're gonna get ran up." Like, they don't do anything to fix the issue. They're just gonna tell you that they're gonna write you up or something. So that's what he told her. And me and my mom were calling the school, and she said there's gotta be something that needs to be done here. And of course, this school wouldn't do nothing about it yet. No, they weren't doing nothing about it. And so I'm still dealing with this every day. And they said, or the bus driver said, that she needs to sit up front so he can see what she does. But I have to walk past her. What do you think she's gonna do? She's gonna do something. Why does she need to be up front? I should be just at least sitting up front so I wouldn't have this issue. And I can't even get off the bus before her. No, but she had to sit up front, but she still continued to do it. She was continuing to be mean. She was continuing to do it all the time to me. And, you know, she had everyone laughing at me. And then it just wouldn't stop. And we tried reporting it, and the school said, we'll have to suspend her for a week. Or not even a week, it was less than a week, a few days to suspension. That did nothing, because she was still doing it. Nothing. Then they finally brought us 3 to the office, which was me, the bully, and the friend of mine. We go to the office. She's there. Me and my friend went to the office, and we're getting our stories put there and whatever. So then this girl says, "The reason why I've been doing this to you for the whole year, because I was jealous of you." Why do you have to do that? If you wanted your friend and you wanted to at least try to make a new friend, why couldn't you just try to be my friend instead of bullying me the whole year? And I don't talk to this girl until this day. I don't try, from my perspective, I don't try to be friends with people unless there's a reason for it. You know, like, so that was her reason. And it's very silly of her to do this the whole time that I was in 11th grade. The whole time. So after that, I was in 11th grade. I was in 12th grade. So 12th grade, this was 2012. And 12th grade was another nightmare. But this was with somebody else. And with somebody else, it was twice more worse. And I did nothing wrong with this situation. I was just trying to be away from the problem in the first place because I've seen it. Everyone else told me, and I believe them because I've seen it myself. So, I was trying to stay away from the situation, and so, trying to stay away from the situation, it wasn't working. She was being mean. I think I actually remember that she was calling me, I think, names. So, there was that, and then we're in the same class for chorus. We were in the same lunch period. We were in the same bus from school to home, and never had issues on the bus, but I had issues with her in lunch, I feel like. So, with lunch, there was a day, there was a lot of us students in the cafeteria, and I had to go throw my tray away. I was done with my lunch, and she walks up to me. It was like foggy. I can't remember what happened, but I remember her flipping out at me because obviously she started with me in the cafeteria, and I had to defend myself and say something back. And she, like, flipped out on me because she did start it with me in the first place. She said something to me. I said something to her. Now she's saying, what did you fucking say? And mind that, she, like, said that. And so she shoved me. There was a tall cart, and then there was this huge tray thing. It's a square tray where you put your forks and spoons when you're done with lunch. You separate them from your tray to your spoons and forks. And so she shoved me into that. It left a dent. Like, it like bended like that. It like did that when it was straight. So it did that. She pulled me by my hair. At the time my hair was long, so she like pulled my hair and tried to drag me down to the ground, which I was on the ground. And then after that, sorry, people were staring at me while I'm talking, but, so, when I was dragged on the ground, she tried kicking me, she tried swatting at me. I was in a ball like this. I was in the ball. And when I was in the ball, I was trying to protect my head. Trying to protect myself from being kicked in the head. But when she pulled my hair, it left me almost having a concussion if I did anything serious to myself. If I fell or whatever, because of how hard she pulled my hair. When you pull your hair, you're pulling a lot of strength, like weight to it, and it hurts your head. And so she tried doing that, and she tried to kick me and stuff, and then it took 4 lunch staff teachers, and then an extra person was the assistant principal. He had to come downstairs and grab her. And after grabbing her, she already was gone. She like was taken out of the school, and I guess the police had to take her. I don't even know if it was the police or her parents, but somebody did, because I was still in the school, crying, curled up in the ball. I went down to the nurse's office, because I was the one in this situation, curled up in the ball, and of course the nurse was asking what happened to me, how this happened. I did call my sister. And mind you, it's school time, in school hours, but I was in the nurse's office. I had to let my sister know. I had to let my family know. And I couldn't let my mom know because, you know, I don't know. I don't think the first person that came to my mind was my sister. For some reason, my sister. And, I think because I told her to tell mom, tell my other sister, let them know what just happened to me. And The nurse comes into the room, and she says, you know you're not supposed to be on your phone at school hours. And my sister says, who just told you that? Put her on the phone. So the nurse is talking to my sister, and I'm waiting. And after they were done with the phone call, the assistant principal wanted me to come in there. And I go in there. He's asking me the same question multiple times to make me think I'm going to switch my answer. And you know how people manipulate you. That's what he was doing to me. Thinking I started this whole thing. Because I think he got her side of the story and probably was lying about this. And I told him, I didn't start anything. I really did not start any of this. It was all her. So then my mom found out by a person that I'm friends with, and that my sister knows about it too, my other sister, and nobody even called my mom. Not even bothered calling my mom about the situation that just happened. So my mom marches in, fuming, screaming, asking where I was. And you know how Italians are. Italian people are crazy. And I'm part of that. I have both crazy nationalities, and I'm crazy. I could go crazy. And so she was mad. And she was yelling. She was yelling at the assistant principal, because our principal wasn't in the school at the time. She was yelling at the assistant principal. She was so mad at him and said, why did you not call? Like, she was mad. And so after that, she had to leave the school because they told her to leave. Because she actually said something very inappropriate because how upset she was, and that no one didn't even call. And so now they said the cops are at her house, not my house, but the bully's house, and that we had to file a report. And why could we not file a report at the school? Because this is where it happened. It didn't happen somewhere else. So, of course, we're filing a report at her house, outside, and then, so then they want us to, the only thing we can do is file an order of protection against her. But the thing was, she is near me in these places that I'm in school with. We're in the same class, of course, so she's like few seats down from me. She is in the cafeteria. She could be sitting anywhere. You can't sit this many feet away. There's no way. She would have to be actually removed from the school, but they didn't do that. They kept on just doing whatever they wanted and not make things better for me. They did nothing about it. They just made me suffer even more. Hey, Jada. Yes, my kitty. Okay, so then, we're filing this order of protection against her, and when I had to read this paper to fill it out, I think I actually still have this report thing. So I had to sign this and read this to be sure this is what I wanted to do. But I had a hard time understanding this, and I'm going to let you know that I do have a learning disability. And I have a hard time understanding things, and it was really hard for me to know what I should do. So my mom was trying to tell me I should just do it. This is something you should do. This is an order of protection for her to stay away. And the cops told her she wasn't allowed to say anything. This is my decision. I'm not allowed to say anything. But at this time, I'm almost going to be 18. And I had to make this decision, even though I had a hard time understanding this paper. It felt like that they wanted me to sign this paper or whatever without even understanding this. So that's why my mom got into it and, you know, wanted to help me and think I should do this because it's going to make a good thing. So I did sign it. I said I'm going to sign it. I'm putting an order of protection against her. So now this had to be worse because, like I said, she is in the same classes as me. She is on the same buses as me. She is in the same cafeteria as me. Same time periods. And so I needed someone to walk around with me for the rest of my senior year. Because my fear was being jumped by her. I was scared that she was going to jump me. And there was the maybe getting close, I'm not sure. But so they asked me if I was ready to walk around myself on my own. I'm like, no. I want to finish this year. I still need somebody to walk me around. I am still scared of her jumping me or something. Wherever she comes from. I was still scared. So they did that for the rest of my school year until I graduated. And after that, everything was okay. Everything was fine. I was done. I was able to live my life and find something different to live for. So after that, I can actually make another video for my next video. So this is actually towards the end of my video with my school year. So if you guys really enjoyed this, give it a thumbs up. And if you guys want to keep up with my videos, subscribe to my channel and leave the notification button on. When you click it next to this subscription button, you can not miss any. You'll able to see every video I start making. And my next one will be about my adulthood. So, and if you guys had any questions or you had your experience with bullying, let me know in the comments. Spread your story to me. Spread it for others so they can understand your struggles. And also, number one, if you are in this situation, let somebody know about it. Number two, don't doubt yourself. Do not give up. Because you do want to fight for your rights. And three, if others are going through this, do something about it. Help them. Because if you just stand there and watch them go through it like I have, people have like, you know, watched me go through this and they don't do anything. They were just standing there watching what happens to me. Don't let that person go through that. You get in that and get involved and pull them away from that situation. That's what I would have done. So that is it with this video. And you guys have a good day wherever you are from the daytime, and have a good night from wherever you are. And I will actually post another video within a few days. Alright?